Hi, everybody. This is Bridgette from the Souls of Many podcast here on YouTube. I wanted to give a word to an actor that I greatly admire, and I think he is a wonderful actor. And he put out a viral content on YouTube and Instagram a couple days ago. And I wanted to respond to him after I had at least 24 hours since I've seen it, just to respond to it. And again, I love this guy. I think he's an amazing actor. I think he does some pretty great things, and he's very talented. He wrote a book, and a show was produced out of it called The Queensman, and it's very popular. And he also stars in it, and he's done some great things. I believe I saw him not too long ago. He was in a Christmas movie, I believe. He's done quite a few film. He was born in Detroit, and I think he was raised in Flint, Michigan. So I always love my Midwestern boys when they make it big to Hollywood type. And so I just wanted to say hey to you, and that is to Christian Keys. He is an incredible actor. Again, I think the world of him. I think he's a good guy. I really do. I've got a great gut for people and feel, and I think he's a great guy. But I wanted to reach out to in response if I can with this. And again, I apologize to my audience. I am in my home office. I am not in my studio, and so I'm grainy. The lighting is bad. All kind of bad things are happening with this podcast episode. But the content is what is important for me to relay to you. So, with that, Christian Keys, I love you. I think you're fantastic. But I want to give you just a little, some nuggets. I've got on my brown pearls today, so I can give you some wisdoms, some wisdom and some nuggets here. Um, I have been jammed up before, so I know what you're going through, and I know um, how to kind of finesse it and handle it because I've been through so many precarious situations across my corporate career and across my personal career. I have an appreciation again for you and to all actors out there because I started out as a theater major, but I ended up pre-med, pre-law, and then business. So I get it. So I spent most of my time in corporate America, but I'm going to give you a little backdrop. Before I was in corporate America, I ran into a situation that I just told someone about. So I understand that whole thing of telling someone later in life to heal. I was raped back in college. And so I didn't know really what it was. I know that I didn't consent to it, but I woke up in it. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And I thought this gentleman was my friend. And I let him in the wee hours of the morning because he had come from another town just to put him up. And I couldn't, my roommate and I always said, wouldn't put random folks on the couch so that we'd wake up surprised to them. So they had to go in your room. If, they were a friend of yours and I didn't know my roommate's friend, they would not end up on the couch. They'd end up in your room. And you'd have to deal with it or whatever. So I thought this guy was a friend and I let him in my room. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I was mortified that he was penetrating me. And it was crazy, crazy. But I never said anything to anybody about it other than him. I ended up putting him out in the middle of the wee hour of the morning. And I told him I didn't want to see him ever again, not to call me, not to contact me, anything. And my roommate asked me, she said, did I hear the door, earlier, when she got up, she had to go to work. And I said, yes, it was a, homeboy of mine that came and I didn't, want him to stay overnight. And I just left it at that. I didn't even tell her what happened. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my girlfriends. I didn't tell my guy friends down there. I didn't tell anybody. I was just embarrassed and I was just so overwhelmed with what happened. I just kept it to myself until probably um, late last year. I think I told one person. And the person that I told was a random person. I just, felt the need to say what had happened to me. And recently I told another person, two people that know in the entire world besides this gentleman and myself. I would never call his name. I will never out him because I told him what I had to tell him, you know, and I said what I had to say to him. It was wrong. And could I have pushed buttons because this guy played football and so forth? I absolutely positively could have, but what good would that have done? He got the message, I got the message, and I kept it moving. I kept it moving. So um, that was a situation, Christian, that I was in as far as an assault, and it probably it is a felony today. I don't know if it would have been a felony when I was in college, but it is a felony today. And I could go back and make this guy's life hell. No, this guy has gone on. He's got kids, the age of my kids. And yeah, everybody's gone on. Everybody's gone on and moved on. I learned, he learned, and hopefully he's a great and a better human being. And he's never done anything like this before, ever again. But I learned a great lesson. Was it my fault? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But on the flip side of it, it happened decades ago. So, hey, what happened happened. I addressed it with that person and I made my case with him. Believe me, I made my case and I could have made his life a freaking living nightmare. And he knew it. And he knew if I had heard of him doing anything like that, I would absolutely make his life hell because no one deserved that and I was just so ashamed and embarrassed. But I went to the person and I had my say and it happened. And so now everybody that's watching this podcast knows that I was raped in college and I said it out loud and I've healed from it. I've absolutely healed from it. But I started my healing after I had that conversation with him because that was my reconciliation. That was my retribution, was to get it out and open with him and make it known to him it was not okay. It was not okay. And he did something to me that I didn't tell him to do. I didn't want him to do. I told him, I made it clear when he was in my room, it would never happen because I did not feel that way about him. And I had a boyfriend at the time. And I said, absolutely, positively not. And there I was in the middle of the night waking up to something like that. And it was just outrageous. But anyways, I've moved on from it since. And it would make no sense for me to bring this up to this gentleman, his kids, his wife, his community, at this stage in the game. I addressed it and it was done. And I healed from it. So what am I getting? What am I getting at? I know that Christian said there are conversations that need to be had relative to his sexual assault and or sexual harassment. I think it was more harassment than assault. However, I wasn't there. No one was there but those two, I believe. And so the truth lies with them. But this is how I would have handled that. And going back to my corporate days, there was always someone flirting and saying something inappropriate. There was always somebody that wasn't protecting me, I felt. And I felt that it was more geared towards me because I was one of the only persons of color in my office. And everybody else I felt was protected. I said they would never say anything like this to any one of these other girls who happen to be white, but they feel incumbent to say it to me, and it's sexual and it's all kind of disgusting. And I didn't like it. And so there was a black guy that transferred to my office. He worked in the city of Chicago, and I won't say his name either. What was done, and I had it out with him. And I told him in front of the person that he said these foul comments to about me and then said them to me. I told him it was ridiculous and outrageous and outlandish that he even thought that he could say something like that to me. And if it happened again, I promise, excuse me, everyone would know about it. And I mean, everybody. And I wouldn't be shy about it. And I got it off my chest and I healed from it. But it was so hurtful because when you're the only one, you want to feel like you're protected just like everybody else. And you want to feel like, you know, you someone wouldn't have the gall to say that to you, especially after everybody else that wasn't African American or Black was saying those types of things to me. And then a brother comes along and says this to me. I was just mortified that he thought that he wouldn't protect me. But anyways, I'm going to get off that soapbox and I'm going to tell you what he said to me. He said to me, I'm not sure if I should paraphrase this or not. I mean, it was sexual. He said that we were away at a conference and we gave a party. We didn't give a party in our room, but people would just come to our room because we were just fun. And we weren't party girls doing drugs or drinking or anything, but we just like to joke around. We just had a lot of fun. We just loved everybody. So they came to our room, this particular guy and another gentleman, and knocked on the door. I didn't know they were coming. And I was in like I still remember what I had on. It was like peach color and it was like a long cover up if you had a swimsuit on, but it wasn't, and it had slits on the side, but the slits didn't go all the way up to your thighs or anything like that. So nothing was suggestive, and it buttoned all the way up to here. And so what he went around telling everybody is I came to the door in some sexy lingerie and I was propositioning him. And, I wanted to get something going, just lied. And I was like, he said that? And everybody in the group said, yeah, he said that. And it seemed out of character for you, but he is telling everybody that you propositioned him and you want to get with him. He wouldn't have been the last man on the planet if I needed a man that I would have got. He was totally not my type. And I wouldn't have touched him with a 10-foot pole. I did not like him like that. I barely liked his personality. He was loud and obnoxious and just wanting to be seen all the time. Totally not the person that I would hang out with, right? But he came to my room anyways, unsolicited and unwanted. And my friend and I opened the door because we had a few other guests there, men and women. So it wasn't just women inviting men, two girls inviting guys or whatever. We had everybody in there because we were just a fun group of people and we genuinely looked out and loved one another. But this guy it was something about me that he thought he could take advantage of, and I didn't appreciate it. And so that wasn't the only thing. I had a really, really good friend that I used to hang out with. And I mean, we did lunch, we did everything together. People started rumors when I was expecting with my kid and I was married. They said it was his kid and all of that. And then it was just a whole hullabaloo because we were friends, this other guy and I, and we were the best of friends. I mean, our parents were from Mississippi, so we were talking about a crazy talk and, stuff that only Mississippi people know about and all of that. And so we just had a common thread and we would hang out and just have the best of time. So he comes back and he tells me what this guy says. And he was like, the guy said, the other guy, not my friend guy, the other guy, he said, I wonder what it's like to get with her. And I bet you it would be all kind of crazy. And she's probably a freak. And this just telling this guy all kind of outrageous stuff. And then he said, and I'm just dying to see, if she's like, a freak like some of the other girls that he was obviously talking about or had seen some porn or something, which were white girls and stuff. And he was like, I wonder if she has such and such type of, I can't even say it. It was so, and I'm not going to say it. It was so vulgar and crass and everything. I said, I cannot believe he would say something like that. I said, you let him come in my face and say something like that. So what I did, I got so mad and I was just boiling over the course of the week. So Friday had come and I called him and I said, you know what? You want to go to lunch? And he said, yeah, I'll go to lunch with you. Come on, so and so and so and so. And he was really tall and really big guy. And so he gets in my car. We drive to the lunch place and I park. And I say, listen, let me tell you something. I know that you have been lying and saying these things about me because my friends have been telling me that you have been saying them in all kind of circles at work. Let me tell you something. You let me hear one more time. And here it is. I am all of 100, what, 30 pounds. I was 5'8.5", but 130 pounds. And this big hunking guy, probably close to 7 feet tall. And I'm like, I'm reading him in the car. I don't care. I'm reading you because you had no right to violate me like that. And I was going to make it known. And I did. So I told this guy, I said, you let me catch one more person telling me something that you said foul about me. I'm going to walk my butt into human resources and I am going to let you have it. You will not have this job by the time that I am done with you. Additionally, I know where you live. I'm going to go get my brothers and I'm going to drive to your house and I'm going to walk up to your doorway and I'm going to have a conversation with your wife. And I'm going to let her know what you've been doing and how I reported you to human resources. I said, I promise you I'll do it. I said, you know why I'm going to bring my brothers? Because I don't want no trouble with you. And they are no punks. They will handle all of that right there. I said, so you try me. You try me. Oh, Bridge, I didn't. He's backing down, backing down. And then I said the vulgar thing that he said. I said, and did you tell such and such, who was my friend, my best friend, he was a guy. I said, did you tell him about this or that? And did you say that? And he just looked like, a deer in headlights. And I said, you said it. I know you did it because you wouldn't have had that reaction. I said, that's vulgar. It is ridiculous. I said, we fought so hard to get respect in this country as a Black girl. I'm the only one at this company. And you say things like that about your sister, let alone a colleague. I said, you should be ashamed of yourself. I said, it's all kind of wrong. It's disgusting. It's vile. You're disgusting. Don't cross my path. And I put him out. I put him out. I don't know how he got back. Maybe he took a cab. I don't know. I put him out of my car. I meant what I said. I said what I said. I meant it. I reconciled it and I kept it moving. I kept it moving. I didn't have to report him to human resources because I didn't hear of any other such lewd comments like that. And he was always respectful with me after that, but I never forgot it. And people used to say, why don't you come to this party that he's at? Why don't you come? I don't want to be around this guy, and I'm not going to be around this guy as long as he has that crazy about him. No, absolutely not. And that's just how it was. So, Christian, circling back to you, I have been discriminated against. I have been raped. I have been just, sexually harassed. I have been through it. I have been through it. I had to take two companies on from a discriminatory standpoint, and I stood up to them. And guess what? I won. I won twice, and I got policy change. Here's my suggestion to you. Stay off social media with this. Stay off of it because you're going to ruin not only this person's life, but you're going to ruin a whole bunch of people's lives and their livelihood. And we just got the goods with movies. There's a huge disparity in income right now Taraji P. Henson was talking about this to date. If she gets $10 million, first of all, she's underpaid based on her white counterparts. But if she gets $10 million for a movie, 30% of that goes to her agent, 50% of that goes to Uncle Sam. So what does that leave her? But yet her white counterparts get 20 million a movie, you know? And so they make more money, more money. And she says she's just tired of it. She's just tired of it. So you're going to ruin a lot of people's lives, not just this guy, which you may feel like his life deserves to be ruined. And maybe it does. I don't know what happened. But you know what? I would do things this way. And you can skin a cat more than one way, but come off of social media doing it because people like to gossip and pander and peddle information, and it's all going to get crazy. It's all going to get crazy. There was a YouTube clip with someone saying Oprah weighed in, and this is what Oprah said, and and put her picture up as though and they put Oprah out there, and so it just gets a little convoluted. This is what I would do to walk in my truth if I were you. And conversations do need to be had. And I want you to have those conversations. And I want you to be the pioneer in front of all those conversations. But brother, this is how you do it. You go and you take your attorneys and request a meeting with that gentleman or that man that did you wrong, according to what you are alleging, and have his attorneys there. And you let your attorneys coach you on what to say and how to present your facts and your truth. And then you set up something that's going to demand no retaliatory behavior. Okay, that's number one. Number two, policy change and oversight. Remember that policy change and oversight with an objective law firm that will look into this person and this person's organization and make sure that they don't do this to anyone else or they will be cut off at the knees. That's how you handle it. You don't put it out there on social media. You don't go to the police because it's going to be public. And once it's public, you got the moral police out there. You've got the regular police out there. You've got civilians that's going to weigh in, and they shouldn't be weighing in because they weren't in the room with you and he. And then you've got people, actors that just got to work, just like you, that's going to lose everything. Everything. Everything shuts down. Do it the right way. Do it like I tell you. I'm telling you, you'll be 10 times more impactful. And here's how you win. You want to direct the oversight and help craft the policy change. Your name is on that. Your name is on that. That way, not a single person in Hollywood would come messing with Christian Keys after that, because you're going to be a bad mother for you. So do it that way, and I guarantee you'll have better success. All the best to you, Christian. I think you are handsome. I think you are a G. I think you deserve to have your say. I think you should be a part of that conversation, leading the conversation, but leave everybody's names out of it and go about it the right way. And that way, everybody will continue to prosper and learn from these mistakes that this man allegedly made, and the mistakes that you're making, quite frankly, by putting it on social media. You are no match for what's about to come. Come off of social media and do it the right way, the way that I told you to do it, and you're going to be better for it. I guarantee you. All the best to you, and all the best to all the people out there that have been wronged. It's a way to do things. There's a right way to do things. And sometimes we lean to our own understanding and we get it all kind of wrong, and we ruin everybody's life that's right in that path. And you just intended to get one person, but you ruined everybody's life and opportunity. And that's not the right impact. It really truly isn't. So, you know, this is Bridgette with the Souls of Many podcast here on YouTube. I'm filling my pearls now, and I'm just giving you the nuggets of wisdom because I've walked the walk and I've talked the talk. So there it is. And Christian, again, I wish you all the best, all the best. And whoever this was allegedly was the offender, I wish them the best too. I don't wish bad on anybody because I think everybody can learn from something bad. When something bad happens, you can always learn. Keep your head up, keep your chin up, people out there, and keep moving. Keep moving. We've come too far to be setting masses of people back and yourself. I don't want to see you get blackballed, blacklisted. You're just beginning to make your bag. Keep on getting that money, brother. Keep on getting the money. Do it the right way. Come off of social media. Social media is a blessing and a curse. And right now, it's a curse for you. It'll come back to get you. Okay? Have a great day, everybody.